Hello, welcome to Napi Fusion. As always, my name is Black C, and welcome to the second episode. I'm here with my panel member, Jamil. Jamil, what's up? What are you going?
Yo, 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 I'm good, I'm good. Forgive for the mic cord thing.
No,
Sorry,
that's fine, man.
I'm
We
having
can hear
problems
you loud
with
and clear, so that's okay. Don't worry about it.
this. Yeah, forgive. Next time I'll just forgive.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, this is the second episode, and as always, we are discussing topics, concerning Africa, the continent. And like we do it all the time. When we start, we have a question of the day. Jamil, are you ready for the question?
Yeah, yeah. Let's go.
All
This time
right.
around, I think I'm quite prepared for it. So, yeah.
All right, let me look it up. Okay, give me a second.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So for our question, of the day is
Yeah.
what was the earlier name of Tanzania?
The earlier name of Tanzania.
Yes, what was the earlier name of Tanzania? Yes.
God damn.
All right. So let me give
Oh,
you the multiple choice.
okay, okay.
The first one is uh the first one is Tangania. The second one is uh, Tangakaya.
Ah!
The third one is
Uh-huh.
Tanganyika, and the fourth one is Tanzanima. And the question
Only
again,
one sounds very, very familiar.
the question is, what was the earlier name of Tanzania?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
think about it. We'll get to the
Okay.
answer, and so. All right, so
Yeah.
today we have a video. We are watching that video, and after watching the video, we'll discuss the video basically. We'll share our opinions on the video, what we think,
Okay,
and also if we have any advice, after watching the video, we'll share it, with everybody else. So give me
okay,
1 second, let me get it together. And-
okay. That's cool. That's cool.
Okay, so the video is from a fellow YouTuber, the name of 1 second. By the name of Odonga. He's a YouTuber and he has this interesting take, on the whole immigration, issue. So uh, let's go ahead and watch that now. I'm gonna share
Okay, cool.
it to you guys so we can all watch
All
it.
right. Sure, sure. All right.
Mother Africa, what has bedeviled you? What has become of home? What has become of the independence that was got by our forefathers? What has become of home that we all ran to Europe hoping for better lives? What has become of home, Mother Africa? As a Pan Africanist and someone who cares so much about the African cause, lately I have traveled across Europe for a purpose to see what has become of the Africans who are migrating to Europe. As you may be aware, the number of Africans migrating to Europe is now 446,000 immigrants every year. And according to the BBC, we now have 7 to 8 million illegal immigrants in Europe. I want to tell you what's going on here. The picture is not as rosy as you see in the movies, as you see in the Hollywood style movies. The picture is not as rosy as you see in the West African movies, where people say they are coming to America, they are coming to London, they are going to France. The picture is not that rosy. I have seen there are two types of Africans in Europe: those who come here legally and have been gainfully employed. This category come through education, they come for professional work, and they stay here 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years before your papers are right and you're allowed to work, that category forms less than 3% of the blacks in Europe and America. But what is very disturbing that will give any sane person sleepless nights is the number of illegal immigrants in Europe. You people out there in Africa, if you want to make the first step to come to Europe, to stay here, to make it, please listen to this. One, the European countries and the American countries have taken a common position on African illegal immigrants because they are overwhelmed. One, if you come here, you are not given a work permit. You will not be given a work permit. There are public centers I have seen, public dormitories where they give you where to stay and clean water to bathe and full stop. No work, no education, no health, no public transport, nothing. Listen to me. Those of you out there who want to make it to Europe, the pictures they are sending you of the flamboyant buildings, of the nice buildings, like you see, people go to car bonds and take pictures and tell you everything is right in Europe. No. If you come to Europe illegally, you will not be allowed to work anywhere. If anyone employs you, they will fine that person 10,000 euros. They will take that person, that organization that employs you, to prison. Take note of this. The countries with the biggest number of Black Africans and majorly illegal immigrants and what they call here economic refugees, all these European countries have taken a joint position because they are overwhelmed of the number of Africans coming to Europe. So please, if you are there and you still want to make that journey, think twice. And the biggest number of Africans that are in Europe are majorly coming from Nigeria, South Africa, Ghana, Cameroon, Somalia, and their major entry routes are in Libya and Morocco. They cross the Mediterranean and come here. Is a Pan-Africanist talking. The situation here is not rosy. Now, what is happening to the Africans who have made it to Europe? One, they are staying off the radar. The government here provides nothing. There are public dormitories where they sleep. So what is happening here? Many Africans are starving. They are sleeping hungry. They are sleeping in train tunnels. They don't get proper medication. They are involved in illegal trades. Life is hard. You cannot even get a phone line unless you have a national identity card number. You cannot get a travel card unless you have a national identity card. You cannot get health insurance unless you have a national identity card. So the Africans are sleeping in tunnels. They are selling items at train stations. This is a highly capitalistic society. If I'm to send these streets, you'll say, oh, I want to go to Europe. But you cannot access any of these buildings. It's private. You cannot access any of these buildings. You cannot access the train. You cannot access the public transport because everything is paid for. And before you pay for it, you have to be a legal stayer in Europe. And to make matters worse, if you decide to come back to the country, you have to go through the airport. They need a valid travel document, a valid visa. If not, you get arrested. So we have a situation where we now have internally displaced persons in Europe and America who cannot come home. Many have run mad. There is no social protection. Something has to be done. Please, before you think of coming here, listen to what I'm telling you. It is not easy. The impression that when you come to Europe, you just come to collect money. No. No, there are also European beggars. There are American beggars in the streets. There are homeless Europeans in the streets. So why would the government go to settle Africans when they cannot settle their own? And even when you come as an illegal immigrant, there is a percentage of people who get clearance, who get lucky and get papers. But that would take 5 to 7 years. And when they give you papers, they give you for 1 year. After 1 year, they extend for 2 years. After 2 years, they extend for 5 years. No one is given permanent residency, as you're being told. 90% of people living here are living on papers with timeline and expansions. So please, before you think of selling your granary, of mortgaging your land in the bank that you're coming for better lives in Europe, no, forget about the pictorial impression being created by those already here. 900,000 Africans have already died trying to cross the Mediterranean. Please think twice. Our governments, please, we need to create opportunities for youth in Africa. We need to sensitize the people that the picture is not rosy. Not that when you come to Europe, you start collecting money and be rich. In law, we say you don't use an exception to make general rules. The few exceptional people that came to Europe and made it took 10, 20 years to make it. There is need for massive sensitization. We are losing a whole generation of Africans here. Many are running mad, as you can see the picture. The stress, the fatigue. No one talks to you. Each one minds their own business. My next discussion will be how to correctly come to Europe, how to rightly get yourself to Europe, and how to make it in Europe. But for now, if you want to come here illegally, prepare yourself for 9 to 10 years of being in the displaced persons camp. And I've met Africans who have been denied refugee status and they have to be deported to their countries. They have taken your fingerprints. You want to live outside the radar, outside the network, you will never gain meaningful employment. Stop those rosy dreams. It is not rosy. Many think if they come here and get married, one of my future videos will show the procedures of people who get married, the do's and don'ts, and the percentage of those who have succeeded. Thank you for watching. Please share.
All right, Jamil. So, we've seen the video, from Mr. Udoga. Any comments? Interesting video.
Yeah, that was a lot. Yeah,
And your sound, if you can,
yeah, that was a lot. Sorry. We keep hearing all these stories, and there are several times that we've seen, you know, on the news of
Mhm.
people crossing the desert and crossing the Mediterranean just to get into Europe, and lots of them, lose their lives, and uh, unfortunately, some of them are women and children, which is very sad, you know. So then you see, we need a lot more education. We need a lot more. Um, we need to build our industries. We need to build things for ourselves. You know, on the last episode we did, I was saying that there's so much that needs to be done, that needs to be put in place. We the people can only do so much, but the whole systems are in place, which uh, should be the job of the leaders of these countries. A lot of systems should be in place where where everything is defined. You go to school, you 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 graduate, you want to go into this, go into that. Things are properly defined. The path is clear. But then there are so many of these people who can't even complete school because one, the school fees are already very, very expensive in most countries. And then the elite are the ones who are um, getting these schools. And the ones that are slightly cheaper are not properly the investments don't go into those schools. So then once they finish, even if they finish school, I mean, for lack of a better word, they're still not properly equipped to, to, to go into the world, to make something of themselves. But then again, people still cross these things for better, the Mediterranean, especially uh, for firstly a better life, and then they end up losing their life. There's so much education that needs to go on. People who are going to obviously when you cross into Europe that way, you face other problems. There are so many other problems that you face. Mr. What was his name?
Odoga.
Odoga was mentioning. You are illegal, so you are undocumented. You can't really do much.
Mm.
Any job you get is, you know, you're going to be paid peanuts. You don't really matter that much. So we need to educate people on, you know, on them taking this kind of steps. I mean, they should, if they want to emigrate, they should emigrate the right way. And then also, these are people over here in this Africa. These are leaders should, you know, have their people's, best interest at heart, and then put structures in place to help the people. The bare minimum is what I was saying the other time that all of, all of us, almost everybody in Africa lacks the bare minimum. You know, there's too much that is being lost.
Mm.
People, very, very qualified people, very intelligent people that are being lost. Yeah,
Yeah,
sad.
and you're right. It's really sad because like Mr. Odoga said in his video, we are losing a whole generation, you know,
Exactly. Yeah,
because if you look at the number
exactly.
of people trying to cross the border on a daily basis, it's like thousands of Africans.
Yeah,
And some of these people, they have the skills, they also have the expertise, to make Africa, uh, better. Some of them even are businessmen. Some of them have businesses they're already running.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Some of
yeah.
them have properties. They sell all that just to,
Yeah.
because their thinking is that when they go outside, they'll make more money. But it's not always
No.
the case. If
Yeah.
if you have to go, you have to go the right way.
Yeah.
Trying to cross, go through Libya and all that, most people don't even make it. They die,
No.
on the way. So it's very tricky and it's also very sad at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's the African leaders and Africa as a whole, we need to step up. We need to stand up and put in measures because this is really sad.
Yeah.
It's very, very sad.
You know.
Uh,
There are people who have bought plane tickets and flown to is it Nicaragua and then find their way into Brazil and then walk thousands of miles into Mexico, cross the border, and return. It's insane. But this shows the sheer will that these people have just to try and make it, you know. And if I mean, who would make this long, tedious trip if things are put in place in their home? This shows the lack of hope. There's no hope. So it's like a do or die thing. It's
mm.
either you take this initiative or you just
So,
perish.
so, so like they say, get rich or die trying, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's either you take, I mean, you do this or because usually these people are firstborn son, the first daughter, a father of a number of children, and then it's like they try so many things doesn't work out. Okay, you've seen this cousin of yours or this uncle of yours take this trip, and then maybe they made it to whatever country they went in, and then maybe a few years down the line, yeah, maybe they're able to send a few hundred of dollars or pounds or euros or whatever. And then due to the exchange rate, it comes here and then it's like some decent amount of money. All of a sudden, the family is doing well and everything. And then that thing becomes sort of motivation. You're like, okay, this my firstborn son, you will make this trip and then sacrifice for this family, and then these people are very willing to do it, and they embark on these tedious trips. Some of them make it, some of them don't make it. Some of them are stuck in Libya and in Tunisia and all of these border countries, you know. It's sad. It's sad. They eventually cross the Mediterranean and they don't make it, you know. Lives are lost. So
Yeah,
many people.
it's very sad. And we hear
Yeah,
stories all the time about people who, some of them are even married with kids and they
exactly. Some of them have children and
yeah, they
everything.
have children back home, and they sort of, they tell their wives that, hey, I'm going out there, going to find a better job, so that, we can
Yeah,
better our lives, send our children to better schools, and hopefully even if it's possible, you guys will join me in Europe, then
really,
they leave and we don't hear of them again.
exactly.
It's
Yeah,
like they leave and for 10, 20 years, we don't hear anything about them again. Some of
yeah,
them die in the way, some of them, probably crossing the sea, the boat or canoe capsize and, they lose their lives. And it's very sad,
yeah. It's
and
sad. You know, I don't know if you listen to the story of the Francis Ngannou guy, the UFC guy.
oh yeah, yeah, in Ghana, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, you know, he never told any of the family members when he went. And then he had to attempt crossing the Mediterranean a couple of times. It wasn't just the first time. He had to attempt several times. And he could have died in any of those attempts, and then the family probably would have never heard anything else again, and then just, disappeared. There are so many stories like that. So many sometimes I watch the news and I see the bodies of these people washed up ashore and everything. I'm like, don't our leaders feel some type of way when people are,
Exactly. That's how I feel. I was like, don't they see those videos? And when they see those videos, how do they feel? Don't they like feel like you have to do something? Because
yeah, because these are, hmm, I don't know. And then this may be, okay, no, I'm not going to say that, but our leaders should be able to feel, this. I mean, they should have some compassion. I don't know if they even do, because so many times these videos keep popping up, and I not well, I start to be corrected, to be corrected, but not once have I seen an AU conference about, you know, the illegal migrants, like a lot of lives on the Mediterranean. I've, I don't know if maybe there's one meeting that has taken place, then I really wasn't aware. I'm not aware. But then not once have I heard of AU meetings, discussing the loss of lives and then how best we can, uh, uh, you know, better solve this issue.
like curb the whole,
Yeah,
illegal migration, yes.
but there's nothing of that sort. People just keep dying. People just keep dying, and nothing is being done. And the countries are still the same. Nothing really changes. The rich are still the rich. The poor are still getting very poor.
But let me
Everybody.
ask you this. Do you think that part of the reason why Africa is so undeveloped is because of, our mindset as Africans? Do you think that if maybe we stop uh, glorifying the rich, so to say, because it seems like in Africa, when somebody is rich or, if somebody comes from outside, they're looking all flashy and everything, everybody, like they attract everybody. People want to be around them, people hailing them. So there's this notion that if you go out there, and you hustle and you make it and you come back, you will be praised. Like, they'll give you all those, man, this guy is looking good, he's looking nice. Look, he went to America, he went to Europe, he came back, he's smelling good, looking fresh. You think that if maybe if you stop that attitude, or maybe like if those coming back actually, they told the real story, they told the truth as to what is actually going on back there, the kind of struggle and hassle they have to go through, to get to that point. If they told them the actual truth, do you think that will maybe, slow it down a little bit?
No, I doubt it. I think what people are looking at is, you know, uh, these people go there, they go and work, they struggle, they go through whatever struggle they go through. Say someone spent $100.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that.
Yeah, maybe the person was able to save $200. Whatever struggle the person went through, was able to save $200 or even 150. Say, and then he says, okay, have a wife and a daughter in Ghana, so I'm spending $100. The $100 right now, I don't know, exchange is like 15. That's like 1,600.
Hmm.
This is somebody's salary. So say over time, this person builds, you know, they build themselves. Now I'm able to spend 200 instead of the 100. You know, the person's children back home, they, they change their schools, they go to a slightly better school. Now they can sort of afford it. And then maybe they start building their homes. Here in Ghana, they can build small, so the building is completed. And see, like in the 7 to 10 year period, house is done and then everything. The person outside is not living a luxury life. The person is still struggling, probably living in a one-bedroom apartment, going to work at 5 a.m., coming to bed at 9 p.m. The person is struggling, but then the wife and children are doing okay.
And that alone is good enough, for the person.
And that alone is good enough. And someone close to the person or a neighbor also sees that, nah, things are changing for this person, you know. And this is the reason why things are changing because this person went outside and was able to send something small down for the family. Okay, we need to do something. We need to be struggling. Let's try and figure out something that we can do. And then this person also pushes whoever is ready to go. So it's these small things. It's a whole system. It's the exchange rate. The it's the lack of opportunities here. It's the lack of education. It's a mixture of things that um uh which I think are quite basic. To be able to solve all of these things, because I was discussing this with a brother of mine some time ago. We Ghana has been independent for what, like over 50 years. 40 years, 50 years ago, the UAE, Qatar, they were all like fishing ports, nothing much. Then they struck oil, only oil. And the citizens, I wouldn't say every Emirati is a millionaire or a billionaire, but I would say every Emirati is quite comfortable. Every person, every Qatari is comfortable. I don't think they worry themselves too much with some bills or I don't know how true it is, but I've heard uh, every now and then these citizens get some stipends and everything. Like the the citizens are comfortable.
Mm,
You,
mm.
you
I
don't you don't
see.
you don't really hear them complaining.
That's true. That's
It's
true.
just the bare minimum
Mm.
that usually people actually look for. And then once they get these things, then like I was saying, then now their zeal, their will to strive for more someone is dependent on them, if they want to uh, uh, become millionaires, become billionaires, that one is your work ethic. But then when the bare minimum isn't there and you're struggling to get the bare minimum, it becomes, I mean, everything is, to become a millionaire is close to a miracle. Yeah.
All right, Jamil. So I think we are, looking at our time. We don't have much time left, but
Yeah, time's almost up. Huh?
yeah, let's get to a question of the day. I don't know if you remember the question, but
Yeah,
let,
yeah, 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 yeah.
let me repeat the question. That just
Yeah,
what.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Okay, so what was the earlier name of Tanzania? That is a question.
Mm. Mm.
The multiple choice answers are, Tanganyika, Tangakaya, Tanganyika, and Tanzanima. So which one is it?
You see, right now, there's only one that I've heard before, and that was the name of a lake or a river or something, Lake Tanganyika. So I'm going to choose that Tanganyika because any
All
case
right,
of it.
all right. And actually that's the right answer anyway. So
Yeah,
that's the right answer.
oh,
Tanganyika.
yeah, Tanganyika.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Do you have any
So
proverb for us today?
yeah, I was actually looking to get one, but they actually found
Hmm.
something cool that I think I want to share.
Okay.
Uh, things about Africa that people probably don't know about.
Hmm. If you can let your mic up a little bit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
things about Africa that people probably don't know about. Yeah, I found that out. I was like, oh, I really would like to share things like this with them.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
amazing. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So I'll just pick one for today, and then we'll see on the next episode. So the first one I'll share this time around is the human race is of African origin. The oldest known skeletal remains of an anatomical, anatomically modern human were executed at site in East Africa. Human remains were discovered at Omo in Ethiopia that were dated at 195,000 years old. The
Wow.
oldest known in the world. Yeah. So they're saying that the human race started in Africa.
Okay, so basically we're all Africans.
Basically, we are all Africans in some shape or form. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us today. It's been fun, as always. So try and tune in next week, same time,
Yeah.
for our next episode. So
Yeah.
enjoy
Yeah.
your day, and this is a
And
bye from us.
subscribe and turn on your notification bell so that you can be notified anytime that we upload something.
Yep.
We have updates some
Oh yeah, we
coming.
have more interesting and fun things coming up. So
Okay.
subscribe.
Yeah. Yeah. Subscribe.
All
All
right.
right. Later.
Bye for now.
All right. Bye.